hope will be a reading vlog. And I'm using my mic because my dog doesn't like thunder and she's barking and being annoying, and I always forget to use it too. I read this book for the Mafia romance readathon, and it introduced me to the series, which is called the Sin Trilogy. And I'll tell you a little bit more about this book in a minute. But I'm reading the second book now. I'm like chapter 7. And it's called The Next Sin. And you're just getting to an intimate scene, and they pulled out the handcuffs. So I thought, oh, that'd be a perfect time to make some handcuff bath bombs, because I have the mold and I've been meaning to anyway for BDSM romance. So I thought I would show you guys that at some point. Not maybe right this minute, but at some point in the next couple of hours, maybe I'll make them. At some point I'll make them. But let me update you where we are in the story. So in this book, we meet, I don't know what her name is originally when she's a little girl, but you meet her when she's a little girl, and there's an incident. Someone knocks on the door, and it's just her and her mom making cookies at home. And anyway, her mother tells her to go and hide under her bed, and she hears her mother get shot. She then hears and sees her dog get shot, and then they find her under the bed and smother her with a pillow and leave her for dead. But she doesn't die, and I'm not sure how old she is at this time, maybe 7 or something. The FBI agent that's in charge of the case, or helping with the case, kind of does adopt her, I think. Yeah. And as she gets older, she wants to train, like, martial arts and all that, guns and fighting and all that stuff. And then she ends up joining the FBI, and so her adoptive dad from the FBI helps with her training, and he knows that the reason that she wants it is because she wants revenge. And it's the Scottish Mafia, so she's left the FBI at this point, and she's ready for her mission, her personal mission, to go kill the person who killed her mother and tried to kill her. And so she goes to Scotland and gets a job at the bar that the fellowship, they call themselves, hangs out. And she catches the eye of the son of the boss, who she wants to kill. And his name is Sinclair. And they call him Sin. And, of course, he's like a womanizer or whatever. But she catches his eye, and he starts to get really possessive. Like, no one's allowed to touch her. Following her home, offering her a ride. Then he, of course, doesn't trust her either, because she's an outsider. She's American. And he goes in her apartment and, like, takes a picture of her out of her frame, and, like, looks around, and she finds him in there, and they play this little cat and mouse flirty game for a little while, and she makes him wait for her, which we later find out why, partially. But I mean, she's supposed to hate him. She hates his father because she thinks he killed her mother and tried to kill her, and she's there to kill him. So she's like, I can't fall in love with him, and da da da. Well, of course, that doesn't work out very well. And anyway, so before she falls in love with him, she ends up sleeping with him. And during that time, we find out Sin is an amputee. I think it's like ankle and foot area. So he has a prosthesis, and he ends up like entrusting her with it, and also takes her to his own house in his own bed, which he usually doesn't do with women. She makes it like, yeah, it has to be special, and really makes him work for it. And then we find out, so she's very accepting of, his disability and everything. And so he kind of gets soft hearted for that, I think. And then once they sleep together, he realizes that she's a virgin, and is surprised and happy that he's the only one that's had her, and all that whole caveman possessive thing. And so of course, they just end up falling in love, head over heels with each other, and he doesn't care if she's an outsider. He wants to be with her and what they call like claim her, which is kind of like their marriage. And excuse me, it's never been done before, but they do like a thing, an initiation type thing, where they like beat up the person and all this stuff. So he takes her place and takes this really bad beating for her, and without asking, she doesn't want him to. He just does it, and he does, and she like nurses him back to health, and it's really cute. And then she's like part of the group and the fellowship, and they have like a little ceremony that's kind of like a wedding, and they are all happy and they're living together and all this stuff. So she's talking about moving her business in the States to Scotland, which is photography. That's like her cover. And he's saying, like, she can do surveillance and blah, blah, blah. And they're talking about the future and stuff. And his Sinclair's uncle, who is the brother of the man she's there to kill, finds out that she is the daughter of the woman that Sin's father was in love with years ago. And they had commented throughout that she looked so much like her and everything. But I guess, his father was in love with her, so she's kind of confused as to why he would kill her. And so I think I don't know if it's too predictable, but I'm assuming maybe the fellowship had something to do with it and not actually him. I don't know. But the uncle has Sin come to him and tells him that she's the daughter of this woman that was killed, and that his father had been in love with years ago, and also that she was an FBI agent and all this stuff. And so Sin is like shocked and thinks, has she been faking that she's in love with me, and blah, blah. So he goes back to the house, and they like he doesn't tell her right away, but they start to get intimate, and then he like pulls a gun out and starts asking her, like, who are you? Why are you here? What, so she tells him the truth, and he basically just kind of accepts it, and he's like, I don't even care, but the fellowship will, and my uncle will, and they're gonna have you killed, so you need to hide until I can make it safe for you. And she just thinks it's never going to be safe, so she just thinks she's never going to see him again, and she's just going to go home, and that's the end of it. And he's ready to do whatever to make it safe for her, make her, I don't know, them accept her. So that's how it ends. She leaves and goes back to America, and he, as far as we know, was looking for a way for his uncle or the fellowship to be accepting of her, even though she lied and pretended to be someone else and all that stuff. So anyway, left off on a cliffhanger. So this one I picked up pretty much right away because while I was reading the first one, I ordered the other two. I could tell after about like 4 chapters that I was gonna be interested. So I would say I'd give that 5 stars because I really wanted to move on to this book. And in this one, we just have Blue. Again, it's her name. I don't know if I said that. And she's back in the States, and she's just she's still missing him and Sinclair, and thinking about him and just going on about things, but just not very happy, but thinking she's not going to see him again. And then, of course, she sees him and finds out that he's been there and he's been following her. And so they end up back at her place, and like I said, they just pulled out the handcuffs. So that's where I left off. So I think I'm going to keep reading, but at some point I'm going to make some handcuff bath bombs for this book, since I made the other ones, the Mafia ones, for the Mafia romance bath bombs I made for this one. But I have a few things to do, and then I'm going to read some more, and I will update you if anything happens, or if I have any good quotes that I want to show you. I should be annotating, but I don't want to keep stopping. I just want to read. So we'll see. If or when I vlog the series, Crush series or Crave series, I do want to annotate that, I think. So then I'll show you more with it. Not how I annotate. I mean, I pretty much just highlight important stuff or quotes I like, or just things I want to remember, stuff like that. Relatable stuff. And write little notes. I don't do a lot if I don't read a ton of like high fantasy, so I don't need like the world building stuff that much, and the plot maybe a little, but all that stuff. So anyway, I'm rambling, but for this one, I think since I didn't annotate on the first book, although there was quite a few quotes that I did like. I'd have to go back through and find them. I'm just gonna, maybe I'll do a reread or something to annotate, but I think I'll just leave it this time so I don't have to stop. But let me do a couple things and try to read some more so I can update you, or if I get a little burst of energy, make some bath bombs. Oops. I don't know if this might make any difference, and my dog is now quiet, so now I'm probably super loud. But anyway, I will see you soon. Okay, good morning. So I mentioned before I'm reading The Next Sin, which is the second book in the Sin series, and they're at an intimate part and they just pulled out the handcuffs. So I thought it'd be a perfect time to make some handcuff bath bombs. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm really liking this series by Georgia Cates. The first one was Necessary Sin that I read during the readathon, Mafia romance readathon, and introduced me to the series. So I picked up the rest of the trilogy, and I'm on this second book, and I really like the couple. I was hoping that the books would follow the same couple, And they do, so. And the first book kind of ends on a cliffhanger. It ends on a cliffhanger, kind of-ish. It definitely does. So I wanted to read the next one right away. And then, like I said, it turns out they're getting crazy in the bedroom. So, perfect to pull out my handcuff mold. Okay, just starting to get cleaned up. But here are the handcuff bath bombs for BDSM romance. And they fit well with this book. So that's a recommendation. But I also have some other recommendations on Instagram that I'll link to the video. But I think I might paint these. Hello, so I thought I'd update you for my Sin trilogy reading vlog, although I've already read the first book, but my continuation from the Mafia romance readathon. So I'm still reading the second book, The Next Sin, and I'm loving it. I'm on chapter 8, and I don't want to get into too much yet. Not a ton has happened, except same as my last update, you know, Sin is in America and finds her, and then they actually got married, so he thinks that's his way around getting her accepted by the Fellowship and having his uncle take the hit off her, you know, not try to kill her because she's his wife. So now they're married, and it's really cute. So, and then, yeah, puppy. I made some bath bombs inspired by the series. I had made these during the Mafia romance readathon for Mafia romance. And I got them packaged and labeled, so I wanted to show you. Sorry, I have a dog on me. It's kind of hard to see, but they came out really cute, I think. And then I made, I got to a part in the book where Sin and Blue reunite when she finds out he's in America and he's been watching her, and they have a spicy scene and they pull out the handcuffs. So I made some handcuff bath bombs for BDSM romance, and they're red and sparkly. So you should see all that in here. This book, The Next Sin, I just finished a vlog I was doing with arcs, so I kind of had taken a little short break while I was reading some arcs that needed to be reviewed. So I'm going to get back to reading this, and I've got lots of bath bombs now, and I hope you like watching the bath bomb footage. It's not too boring. Let me know what you want to see more of. Alright, so I'll update you when I read more, and hopefully when I finish it, and maybe I'll get inspired to make some more bath something, and then I'll have the last book read One Last Sin. The series goes on, but they're not the same couple. I think they follow different people, so I don't know. I probably will eventually continue, but following. I just want to find out what happens with this couple because I'm invested with Blue and Sin. I like them so much that I'll probably continue the series, even if it's about other characters, just to get an update. All right, let me end this now since I have like puppy wanting my attention. And I will talk to you soon. Morning. I got a package yesterday, and I'm pretty sure I know what it is, so I wanted to wait to open it for you. Oh, I hate these kind of envelopes. I got the Twilight Palette because I love Twilight and I had to. I'm not like a huge eyeshadow person. I usually just wear neutrals like brown, gray, and occasionally I'll do like a plum or a blue maybe, depending on where I'm going or what I'm wearing. But I had to have this because it's Twilight. And look at the colors. I'm going to swatch them, I think. I can show you what they look like. It's got a picture of them. And I do like these colors. Look at this Immortal. It's like chunky glitter. All right, let me move the camera. I'm going to swatch these. All right, Edward. Sparkles, of course. Unconditionally. It's kind of a blue gray color. Prom Night. That's pretty. It's like a neutral sparkle. I'll definitely use that one. And this is that Immortal. Oh my goodness. That's gorgeous. That's really pigmented. And the sparkle is chunky, but if you just brush away the excess. Here's Ice Cold. Say It Out Loud. This will probably be a regular because it's just a neutral. It's a nice brown. The Cullens. That's pretty. Lion and Lamb. Ooh. gorgeous. $17. So there's some matte shades, which I like. That's $17. It's kind of like matches the Lion and Lamb, but it's a matte green. And then we've got Moonlit. And that's like a taupey glitter shimmer. That's pretty. Impossibly Fast. It's just almost like a gray black. This would be good to use as like, this one's Bella, which is just a brown, so I'll definitely be using this one. Here's Irresistible. It's like a gunmetal. Almost has a purple hint to it. This is Irrevocably. Oh, that's pretty. That's a pretty blue. That would look pretty with the Colorants. And then Forever Young. Which I love too. It's a nice black glittery. This would be nice for a smoky, a little smoky in the corners. I'm not a beauty guru, but I still love eyeshadows. My daughter is really good at makeup and especially eyeshadow. And she has like the perfect shaped eyes and features for makeup though. Her eyes are like almond and she has like tons of lid space, and I have like hooded eyes. And then she's got like gorgeous skin, like porcelain skin, beautiful cheekbones, heart-shaped face, and she can do makeup so good. So I learned stuff from her, but I used to watch a lot of makeup and beauty YouTube. So I've had my time experimenting, but I had to have this palette. All right, so I swatched on my arm so you can get a better idea of the colors. So I'm really happy with this. And I can't wait to try it. So maybe I'll actually do my makeup today. But I'm not going anywhere, so I don't know how elaborate I'm going to get, but I'm excited to have it. So, did anybody else get this? And what do you think? Let me know. Hello, so update. I finished the second book, The Next Sin, in the Sin series, and it was good. Now I've got a ton of questions, of course, so I'm ready to start the next book right now. One Last Sin, because it leaves off on a cliffhanger, of course. So let's see what happens. If you don't want spoilers, I probably already have given some, but I'm gonna spoil some things because the second book, it's kind of hard not to, really. A series, vlog, I don't know how you really can do anything about talking about the book because you're gonna spoil things. Anyway, so this book starts out good. I think I had made an update where she Blue is back in America and then is, you know, sad and everything and thinks the relationship's over with Sin. Anyway, they eventually, she finds out he's there and they get together and then he decides they are going to get married and that's how they're going to get around the fellowship rules and stuff about outsiders. So they get married and then, you know, her adoptive dad is dying of cancer and then she has a sister who's like adopted sister too. So they get married, they have the wedding, and her adoptive father's able to be there. And then, so shortly after he does pass away, and then we are set, then they go back to Scotland, and they're back home there, and she's, you know, married to him, so she's part of the fellowship, and no one's supposed to, you know, like his uncle's not supposed to hurt her or anything. Well, then, of course, Sin ends up killing a rival. I don't know what they call it. It's called the Order. So they're the fellowship, and he killed a member of this order, and they're gonna retaliate. So he's worried about, you know, his wife. And anyway, during this time, they go to a fertility clinic in London because Blue told him early on issues with her reproductive stuff. So she was told that it would be hard for her to have a child. And he, of course, wants one and supposed to need one for having an heir for the Mafia boss. And but he says he doesn't care if they'll adopt, whatever. So anyway, but he says we'll get the best doctors. So they just go to London to go to this really special fertility clinic, and they tell her that basically, you know, her other ovary that she's got left is not great, and she doesn't have that much time to get, you know, egg retrieval and do IVF. So she's like, kind of like, oh my gosh, I'm not ready to have babies and da da, but they do it anyway. So they do like an IVF thing, and of course she gets pregnant, and then of course I guess it's twins, because there's a chance it could be twins because they implant 2 embryos, I think. So she's pregnant with twins. He's got this rival gang, whatever, trying to come against him and his family. So what happens? The Order people come and kidnap Blue, who is pregnant with twins, and they were just about to tell his parents, like she's like only a few weeks, you know, like 6 weeks pregnant. And so of course Sin is like freaking out, and him and his dad and like the other fellowship members go after her because they had stolen explosives also from the Order, and the Order said made Blue write in her blood like a note to Sin. And anyway, they want the explosive back, or, you know, they're gonna hurt her. So anyway, Sin takes the explosives is taking the explosives back to get his wife. And they get stopped by the police, and of course what happens, Sin gets arrested for the murder of it was actually a fellowship member who Blue murdered because he came in to their house one night, like in the first book, and tried to kill her. So she killed him, and Sin, took care of it. So he is getting charged with the murder of that guy and gets taken by the police. So he's on his way to save her, and he gets taken by the police, and that's where we leave off on this book. So it's just cuckoo, like crazy sauce, but definitely interesting, keeps you interested in guessing. So now I have a lot of questions, and I'm ready to pick up this one. So hopefully Sin can get released and get to save Blue. So I'm gonna spend my afternoon probably reading. I'm hoping I can read this today. These books are short, so if I can, I'll finish this up today and I can finish this vlog. But I wanted to update you. I'm wearing my Twilight eyeshadow. I didn't go crazy, and you probably can't see it in this light anyway, but it's very sparkly. I feel like sparkly everywhere, glitter, but it's pretty, and I'm glad I have it. And I'm gonna read this book and maybe have a snack. I made an eclair cake, which I posted before on Instagram. I don't know if I posted a recipe, but I did like a video of it. If anybody wanted a recipe for it, so I might have some of that. And actually, I did want to watch the documentary about Billie Eilish that she's got on Apple TV. But I don't know. I might watch that, but I want to read too, so we'll see. All right, so that's my update for now. I'll talk to you later. So, using my mic because I have to talk a little bit quiet because my husband's sleeping and it's close. I'm in the next room and the dishwasher's running and I'm trying not to be loud. Anyway, I'm trying to keep track of my arcs because, of course, I overcommitted like I usually end up doing in every once in a while. So I've got, I don't know how many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So far, 18 that are all before the end of the year. So I'm going to just mark them with highlighters, which months they are for my own purposes. I might even do a page for each month of arcs. I don't know yet. So I brought out my pens from my craft room, and I've got glitter highlighters, so I thought I'd use those. I've got multiple different ones, but I'm going to use these ones. So each month we'll get a color. So we'll pick blue for May, which isn't looking so hot because it's already, what is it, the 25th? So I don't have a lot of time, and I am trying to finish this book, which is not a priority, I guess, but it is for me. So, and then June we'll do purple. I have so many pens, and like, at least I could try to find a way to use them and be helpful. Pens and markers and highlighters and all kinds of stuff, especially for bullet journaling. I just never keep up with it, so when it works, it works. So for now, this is my way of keeping track of my arcs. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 in June, 5 in June, 6 in June. And then get July, green. I used to make I would use this pen. It's a Tombow, I think. No, Pentel sign pen to write, and it's smudging, but that's okay. And then August, we'll do pink, a reddish color. No, that's pink. These are from Temu, I think, so some of them are, I think, were dry. And that was one of them. I probably should just get rid of it. Here's another pink. Maybe I can put some of this over its top. Close enough. Now it's even more bleeding. Whatever. And then we've got October, so we'll do orange for fall. That's really light. Ugh, bleeds terribly. Ugh. Yeah, I'm not going for perfection here anyway. It's okay. I have other black pens that wouldn't smudge. And I should have used one of them, but I didn't. I couldn't probably find it. And then we got some December, so we'll do, I don't know, yellow. As long as you only go over it once, it's much too bad. But when you try to go over it too many times, it gets quite a few arcs that I have to get through, and only 2 in May, and like I said, there's not that much time left in May, so I don't know. And for this one here, there's 2 books before this one that I'd have to read first. It's not to be, I'd have to read this whole series, basically, I'd have to read this whole trilogy before the 30th. I don't know if that's gonna happen. Well, I might try, because it sounds really good. And this one, May 31st. After that, it might be better because I have a little bit more time. So, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 in June. So I gotta be good in June. Only 2 in July, 2 in August, 4 in October, 2 in December. So we're looking good. I want to make some more conditioner bars because yesterday or a couple days ago I made some, and they turned out really good, but because stupidly I used water-based dye as the colorant, there's all oils in this. You can't, if you put water and oil together, they don't mix. So that's what happened, but they're still usable. They don't do anything. I made 3 bars, and I've been using it, and it's wonderful. I love the shampoo bar. I've been loving that. I'm on my 2nd one. But the conditioner bar is just as good, and that's all I need is shampoo bar and conditioner bar. I don't need to use my regular stuff at all anymore. So I don't know if I'm going to sell these or just keep them all for myself, but they're pretty cool. They're, I think my hair is looking healthier. So I think I'm going to make another batch of conditioner bars and use Mica to color them. And I'll probably make some more eucalyptus spearmint or peppermint, because these are lavender and lemongrass, and these are just lavender, I think. But anyway, I could leave them just plain, either unscented or just not color them, but the fun is coloring them. So I think I'm gonna make some conditioner bars. My current read on audio, so I can listen to it while I work. So I'll try to film some of it, and then I'll probably, put it into music and speed it up for you. Not much else has happened, really. Her sister, last update, I said her sister had shown up, and she didn't know anything about the whole Mafia fellowship, whatever, that, she was getting into, and they try to keep it from her, but obviously that doesn't work for very long, and she comes across some situation, and they have to tell her, and she's kind of, shocked, and she's like, well, I have to think about it, and basically it's like, if you want to be part of, you're still my sister no matter what, but if you want to be safe and be here with us in Scotland, you can start a life here. You should be part of the fellowship, and to do that, a man has to claim her and or marry her and take the initiation beating for her. So she's kind of like what man is going to do that for me, whatever. But since brother Jamie is a doctor, and that was chosen for him to help with, things they can't go to the hospital for. And Blue's sister is a nurse. Her name is Allison, is a nurse. And so they kind of seem to hit it off right away. So I think there might be a romance brewing there. So she's kind of on the fence, but she's pretty sure now she wants to stay. And I think, like I said, I think she's like, she likes Jamie, so we'll see. And they may get a book, so if they do, then I'm gonna have to continue the series. I was gonna just stop after this one because this is about this Sin and Blue, but if they have a book about Ellison and Jamie, I would like to read that. So I'm gonna listen to this while I make some conditioner bars, and then I was thinking maybe I might make some bubble bath like dough and use these little cutter things I have. So I'll show you if I do anything fun, or I might just sit on the couch and read. Who knows? It's Saturday. I'm being really lazy. But anyway, so I'm gonna have to change the camera and get my things set up to make the conditioner bars, and I can show you somewhat of the process. So that's my update. Okay, I've got my bubble dough flowers, and I'm gonna paint them with Mica. I'm gonna use just the same colors I used to dye the dough. I think I'm gonna move my camera so it's overhead so you can see. So let me mix up my micas with alcohol and move my camera. So I'll be right back. Good morning. So I have some book mail and an update on the final book in the trilogy. Well, there's more books, but the trilogy that follows Blue and Sin ends with this book, like their story, but I'm sure they show up in the other books. Because after I finished this, I went on Goodreads and looked at the other books. And the next one is about Blue's sister Ellison and Sin's brother Jamie. And she's a nurse from America. She came after her father died to be with Blue. And then Jamie is a doctor, and he's Sin's brother. So it's their story, and I want to read that. And then the next story after that is about another couple that I liked in this series that works at this bar that the Fellowship owns, that had a couple that had like a weird relationship, like with multiple men, and then one of the men fell in love with her and couldn't handle it anymore, and she fell in love with him, and he's been ignoring her for, like, the relationship ended with all the guys, and he's just been kind of ignoring her, but he's in love with her. So anyway, it's their story, and in this book, Sin tries to get them together, actually. So you'll hear more about, it's Lorna and Leith, and then his brothers Jamie and Ellison is Blue's sister. Those are the other books. So if you read the series and you like characters, I would definitely say continue on. I know I will, but I don't know if it's going to be right now because I have so many arcs, as you've seen, that I need to read, and I just started one yesterday. I have the one that comes out May 30th, but it's the third in a series, and realistically, I'm not going to be able to read 3 books to review that one, plus another one that I have to review on May 30th. So I think I'm gonna maybe I'll get to it at some point, but I'm gonna prioritize the other one that's May 30th, and I started that last night, and it's really good. It's called, let me go see. All right, this is the arc that I'm reading. Wild Love Adventure by Julianne Keyes, which I've never read before, but I'm loving it. I don't know why I've never heard of this author. If it's her first book, I should probably look, but it's really funny and catchy and like gets you interested right off the bat. I'm on chapter 9 already, and I just picked it up last night before bed. I got tired, so I had to stop, but I'm on chapter 9 and I'm really liking it a lot so far. I want to talk about this book. So we get a lot of answers. So, I mean, basically, this book is answering a lot of the questions that we had in book 2. And so his uncle tries to kill Blue again. So Sin is like, that's it. I'm as like leader or future leader, I have to kill him because I can't have him trying to kill my wife all the time. She's pregnant with my babies, and or anybody trying to kill my babies, and blah blah. And then his uncle like tries to barter by saying he knows who Blue's mother's killer is. So he gives him information, and then they like make him leave the fellowship and his family and everything, and not come back. They don't kill him. So he goes to the Order, which is the other gang that they're like in with, or what, that is against them, and tries to do some stuff there. And so they end up finding the guy who killed her mom, and he's part of the fellowship. And Sin has to tell his dad, because his dad was in love with Blue's mother. And and Sin's like, I told Blue's dad before he died that I would kill him, the killer of her mother, so she didn't have to live with that guilt. So they find the guy, and they secretly do a paternity test, because it turns out in some mixed up way he's her father. He's Blue's father, but he didn't know. Her mother worked in one of the casinos that the Mafia was running, and that's how she got like involved with them. So she finds out he's her father, and she doesn't really care. She still wants him dead. So Sin talks to her and tells her that he's gonna do it, and she's not happy with that. She wants to be the one to do it. She wants revenge. And then he talks to her more, like explains it, and it's really sweet. I put some quotes. I didn't annotate, but I put some quotes I filmed some quotes where it's like he doesn't want her to have the darkness in her from killing someone, and he wants her to stay the same and be, the woman that she is, and the good mother that she's going to be. And he's already committed so many sins that his hands are already dirty. And eventually she agrees. So they like bring the guy to like a abandoned warehouse, whatever, and confront him, that they know about him. And Sin's dad is there, who, like I said, was in love with her mother. So he's there. So they confront him, and eventually he admits it, and then they tell him that he's Blue's dad. And he's like, oh, you're just like me, you like to kill, and blah blah blah. And he's like trying to manipulate her, and she's just like, I'm nothing like you. Just because I understand you doesn't mean I'm like you. Because he's like a serial killer. And it also turns out he killed someone else, which I won't say. You'll find that out. He killed like 11 people, but one of the other people was also close to Sin and his family, and just a bad guy. So then Blue leaves, and then goes home or whatever. And then Sin comes back home, so he's killed him, and that's all taken care of. Meanwhile, her sister's there. Oh, my ring light just went out. And you can tell that you can tell like her and Jamie are kind of like liking each other. So that's cute. And that's what the next book is about, her sister and Jamie, who's Sin's brother. And he's a doctor, she's a nurse. So it's like super cute. So he's like duty bound, So I think we're going to find out more about that and how he feels about that. And he's like the second son. And Allison is Blue's adopted sister. Her dad adopted Blue after she was attacked and left for dead when she was a little girl. So anyway, I really love this. 5 stars. So the whole series was amazing. And I definitely plan on continuing because I want to read about the other character stories. So I hope you liked the vlog and you'll pick them up. Okay, I have book mail. Let's do that. So I had an idea. When I read Simply Wanton, had a reformed rake in it, and I always love that kind of story, like a guy who's just kind of like out having fun, has a mistress, and goes to brothels and gambling dens, and then he meets this one woman that changes everything, and he's a reformed rake. So I thought I might do a reading vlog with books with rake in the title, which I assume will end up being reformed rakes. So I got the Taming the Rake, Monica McCarty, which I have some Monica McCarty. I don't know if I've read anything by her. And then I got To Redeem a Rake by Christy Caldwell, which I have some of hers, and I think I read the Spitfire on Kindle. And these are, I think this one's on Kindle Unlimited, but this one's not. I don't remember. I bought these because maybe they weren't on Kindle. I don't know. And then another one I wanted to try was, and this is the third one, The Study of a Rake by Kathleen Ayers, who's the same one who wrote Simply Wanton and some other books I've read. I know I like her. I think it's a novella. I think I'm going to read this one, and this one for a Refined Rakes vlog soon. And then I got this series that I saw that sounded really good. I think this is the first book. Quarantined by Drethy Annis. I don't know how you say it, but I don't even know if it's a woman or a man. New York City, not for the faint-hearted or the sweetest of souls. The last thing I expected was to be back in the city after all these years, nor did I expect to be back in this house where it all started. I have spent years avoiding this place and the cold, hard reality of what happened here. But I have no choice. We are all quarantined together, so I have to face him, Milo Sinclair, once my legal guardian and savior in life, the person to save me from drowning in loneliness. He gave me everything I wanted, only to take it all away with interest. He broke me. He will not break me again. So I don't know if this is like a forbidden romance between her guardian and her. That might be. I got that one. I got the second one, Isolation. And the third one, Essential. And I like these covers. They're very understated. They're just black, and then they have like flowers at the bottom. Are they pretty? So these are short too again, so I'll probably do, maybe I'll do a vlog reading these. I think they're apocalyptic. I think that's how I found them. I was, after I read Homestead, uh, I think I was on Goodreads, or I don't know if it was Amazon or Goodreads, but it had like, people who like this book like this. So I got those, and I got these break books. So that's it for today. Yesterday, conditioner bars and bubble dough, flowers and leaves, which was a mess but fun. And they came out really cute, but I'm going to paint them all with mica because I used mica on the dough, like, to keep it from sticking. All right. I'm off to read or create or something. I don't know. Talk to you soon.